Hello, welcome into Where's the Line? On this episode, we are going to talk about Tennessee's game in the Sweet 16. We're going to talk about Vanderbilt's new head basketball coach, and we're going to also get into the love corner a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. It's number 121. Let's get into it.
You are now listening to the Where's the Line podcast with Joseph West and Britt Dillard. Enjoy the show.
Milton gonna take a shot wide open and just strutting in is Keaton. Joe Milton does it again.
Orji again on a blitz. Levis pocket collapses. He's on the run. He just heaves it up. And it's intercepted by Vanderbilt. And let the celebration begin. The streak is over at 26. The Commodores win it.
Talk about Vanderbilt football.
Deep right, and Tennessee walks it off. Pandemonium in Knoxville. Center field, DeMarco. There to make the catch. Anchored down. Vanderbilt on top of the college baseball world again.
That's all I gotta say, and you're going to hell. Bye.
Another edition of Where's the Line? It is Tuesday, March 26th. This is episode number 121. My name is Britt Dillard. I'm joined here by Joseph West. How are you today, my good friend?
I'm good. Britt, I'm sitting here eating some poppin' popcorn buttery caramel. It's amazing. Just chilling. How are you, Britt?
I'm filled with rage. I'm absolutely just living off rage right now.
This
I'm
man's
living off
got
rage.
anger in his heart, and sometimes that just happens.
No, it's pretty rare for me. I'm also like 9 days off nicotine. So that's good. That's good.
That
And
is a
that's
huge positive.
what I'm gonna blame my anger on.
Is the no Nick?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna blame my anger on. Or other reasons. Maybe it's real reasons.
Well, simply put, sometimes people just piss you off. That's simple. And I don't feel like it's all that bad. Like, if you seldomly get angry and then all of a sudden somebody's just being an idiot and pisses you off, it's going to happen sometimes.
Yeah, I rarely ever get pissed off at people. It's more just scenarios that make me mad. Usually something involving a vehicle makes me mad. Like I got car trouble. I'm gonna give you this $600 to fix my car. I give you my car. You say, okay, this is the problem. $600, it's fixed. I give you the money. It ain't fixed, man. It might even be worse than it was when I dropped it off.
And then they'll hit you with, well, for $300 more, we can fix the real problem.
And that's where I say, man,
Screw you.
I'm
bud.
calling Saul Goodman.
Oh, you're calling Saul Goodman.
Yeah.
I feel that. Well, Sweet 16, March Madness has been going on. It's been crazy. It's been fun. I've had a blast watching the couple games that I've gotten to watch. That's about it. My schedule's been kind of nuts. But I've gotten to watch like 5 total March Madness games. All 5 were so good. But anyways, it's the Sweet 16. And UT's in it. They are taking on the Creighton Blue Jays, maybe?
There's some
Blue
sort of bird.
Some sort of bird for sure.
Yeah, they're the Blue Jays.
They are the Blue Jays. The Creighton Blue Jays. In the Sweet 16. I think it's a good matchup. I like UT's favor here, but Britt, early thoughts on the matchup?
Well, I mean, at this point, once you get to the Sweet 16, like you're going to be playing a good team. That's just the way it is. But this year, not that there was a lack of upsets, but there are still, I mean, some very high seeds left in the Sweet 16. I mean, out of the 8 games this weekend, I mean, they're all pretty good. I would say like 5 out of the 8 are very solid. Like they're going to be really good games. So
Yeah.
I like Tennessee's chances, but also you don't know. It's March.
It is March.
You don't know. You're coming off a terrible shooting performance against Texas. One of the most gritty wins that I've seen as a Tennessee basketball fan, which is good. And I still kind of feel like, man, we're at the Sweet 16 and we hadn't even used our Dalton Connect card yet. Like we still got, Dalton Connect's got to go off one game in the tournament. He's got to. That's just how I feel. So,
It's a good
not
point.
that I'm confident going into this game, but I mean, you're 2.5-point favorites and you've got a good team. This is as good a shot as you've got to
go.
realistically to make
honestly,
a
to
run.
go.
This is it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. You've got one of the best players in the country. You've got a nice road set up for you. I think a lot of the teams that's left can win it all. I think Creighton could make it to the Final Four. Maybe even the championship game. I think Tennessee could. I think Duke could. I think North Carolina could. Houston definitely can. Illinois could. I like any of those guys to go make a run at and win it. So it's going to be a fun stretch. I am going to watch most of the games now. But I don't know. I don't even know what to think of the Creighton and UT game, honestly, for me. I was kind of talking about it today with a buddy, and I was like, I don't know what to say about it because I just don't know enough about Creighton. Like I watched one Creighton game. It was in the last round. That's it. That's all I've watched Creighton. I just think Tennessee matches up well. I think Adu has the potential to have a big game. And I mean, it's always can be a huge Connect game. So I lean Tennessee here. I do think they'll win.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that.
I think that a lot of this game is riding on Jonas Adu because I mean they've got their big man Kalkbrenner, big goofy white guy, 7'1", 270. He's averaging 17 points a game, 7 rebounds. And when Jonas Adu doesn't score, Tennessee does not win. Tennessee just does not win when Jonas Adu does not score. They're just a really balanced team. I mean, their big man gets 17, and they've got 3 guards that are averaging right around 15. So they're a good team. They're here for a reason. It's going to be tough, but Tennessee just plays that defense. As long as they can hit some shots, then I think we'll be fine.
No,
And try not to look ahead
agree.
because I think Tennessee's starting to develop a rivalry with Purdue. And Tennessee's definitely on the wrong side of the rivalry. Every time I can think of. So don't look ahead. I mean, that will be a big matchup, either Gonzaga or Purdue in the Elite Eight, when Tennessee's only been to the Elite Eight once. Yeah. It's March.
We'll see. Whoever is there right now, they need to enjoy it. Because next year, I heard it feels like 2012. The doors are coming. The Vanderbilt Commodores hired Mark Byington from James Madison University yesterday. At first, when they made his hire, I said, Britt, I think it's a mid-hire. I do think it's a mid-hire. I just couldn't get over it. I couldn't get over some of the other names that were floated around, like Bucky McMillan, like Chris Mack, even though Chris Mack would have been 4th or 5th on my list, but still he was a big name. Danny Sprinkle. I mean, there was all kinds of guys that I thought was like, oh, yeah, they've had proven success time and time again. You hire this guy. He's only been in the NCAA tournament once, and it was this year. They got bounced in the second round. But looking at where he got his teams and where he brought them to, he improved them over 120 spots at both schools he was at in the KenPom. Both schools he was at, he improved over 120 spots from his first season to his last. That's insane. He builds good rosters. He's got $7 million to go out and get whoever he wants in the portal. Absolutely insane. Vanderbilt has dropped their sack in NIL in all sports. Shout out to the donors, honestly. They're giving us a chance to be good. Mark Byington could literally go buy an NCAA tournament team, and we could be in the tournament and we could be talking about Vanderbilt in the Sweet 16 next year with how good of a coach I think people have told me that he is. Because I haven't personally got to watch that many of his games or break down anything of his coaching sets. But Purdy's a great coach. He can recruit well and builds a great roster, and he has unlimited money at Vandy. I don't see how you're not excited.
No, any new coach is excited.
Facts.
Exciting. Jeremy
Facts.
Pruitt was exciting. Bush
Facts.
Jones was exciting. I'm not saying that to downplay, to say that it's going to fail at all. I'm just saying it is exciting to have a coaching search, to have somebody fresh in the program.
Who's not Jerry Stackhouse?
Yeah, and Joseph, I think you said 6. What did you rate it? 6 out of 10?
I rated it 6.8 out of 10 at first.
Okay, and then I told you I would have rated Josh Heupel like a 5 out of 10 when we hired him, and that's worked out pretty good, seems like. So you just never know.
That is true. You never do. You never know. Britt, any thoughts on the hire? What would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10?
No rating. I don't know the guy. I don't know about him except for what I've heard about him this week and from the tournament. I mean, I know that they were a big pick to upset some people in the tournament. So
Jordan Craighead called that here live on Where's the Line, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, so shout out Doors. They're getting serious. Also, just to say that I talked about it, Vanderbilt has started spring practice. They've got some freshmen that look like the real deal, and they're bigger. Like, just in photos, pull up their photos from last year to this year, they're bigger. Robbie from 247 says they're moving quicker. They just look like they're in better SEC shape. That's such good news early in spring to get. Just you got 2 or 3 young guys balling out there, and dudes are looking bigger and faster. Yes, that's such a great thing to see early. Wasn't really planning on talking about football, but I just wanted to throw that in there. That was so good to see. Britt, is it time for love?
Yeah.
It's time for love? How is your love, Britt? How is you and Grace's relationship right now?
Good, I would say.
That's good, man. I'm glad y'all are doing well. Okay, here goes. We're gonna get started here. Okay, so it says the question is, what do y'all think about finances? Should they be kept separate, in a marriage, or conjoined with one basically financial advisor managing them? That's the first question. So do we think that finances should be kept separate in a marriage, man and a woman has their own, or conjoined, one account with kind of like a financial advisor overseeing it?
We've talked about this before. I think you should have one bank account. Especially because in my opinion, and I don't know if there is a right or wrong way necessarily to do it, but where you get into trouble is, in my opinion, when you're married, you're 50-50 partners in everything. Like, my car is half yours.
Yeah.
Now, my dog is 100% mine.
Oh, okay.
But, like, the vehicles, like, but you don't look at it like that. Like, this is my truck, this is your car. But you definitely make the decision jointly to purchase things or to sell things or just to move forward with transactions together. Now, if you have separate bank accounts, then I feel like you get into, well, this is my money. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. You don't tell me how to spend my money.
Yeah.
Because if you're only managing your own portion of the money, you're going to be more reckless with it, I think.
Yeah. And I will say this too. if like, okay, when it comes to stuff like that, then like if you have separate bank accounts, how do you split the house bill and like is it and the water bill and the electric bill? Is it all 50-50? Because okay, if it is 50-50 really fair if the husband's making 120 and the wife's making 40? Is it fair to take 50% of her money? She's only getting 40? I don't know about it. That's what I'm saying. It's not your money or their money. It's just our money. Everything is one. Everything, even the dog I got, is half hers. And I'm good with that. Now, hey, if there's a divorce coming, I'm taking the dog with me. The dog's with me. But that's not the point. The point is that while we're together, that's half her dog. Half my dog. Everything's half. So I say definitely conjoined. Matter of fact, that would be a deal breaker for me. Like that's usually a question I ask in the first few months of dating somebody. Is hey, if we were to get to marriage, are you good with having a conjoined bank account? Because if you're not, this is never going to work. Because you argue about money too much. The argument about money is going to come up too often. Well, like then when you go out to eat, like you're buying every meal, and then what about your kids? So like whose money, when there's kids involved, whose money's buying the kids' clothes? Whose money's buying the backpack? And you're like, oh, we'll split all that. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Good luck, buddy. Who's buying the kid's first car at 16? Huh? Who's taking that big transaction? You splitting it 50-50? What are we doing? Like, no, too many problems. I don't like it at all.
I do think that, though, you can have one bank account, but within that one, you can separate it into different things. Because, like, I think ideally you could say, well, we're going to survive off of one of our incomes if we can.
Right.
And then save the rest. But
Yeah.
not that they're separate, but
Right.
that's just how you look at it.
Right. Yeah, you're saying we're saving this money for whatever, a trip we want to take, whatever, or money to put away for something else. But yeah, so I'm going conjoined here. Here's the second part of the question. Or the second question, I should say. Thoughts about splitting duties when it comes to the home? Like just because the woman's traditional role would be to housekeep, is that okay nowadays? Question mark. For someone like me, I work some weeks double the hours of my partner. Why am I the one who is automatically delegated to these chores? Or how would be a better way to delegate them evenly without one or both persons being overwhelmed or feeling attacked? My partner and I have come to a pretty good agreement on the second part. The only thing is that it's my instinct as the woman just to do those things where I have to specifically tell him what to do or he doesn't even notice them. He doesn't mean to, but it's not like it's engraved in his DNA like it is mine. So basically, question being here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The question continues. My fault. So even though I don't mind doing it, it's hard to find the time and I literally need the help because I don't have time. I would love to participate in the traditional way here. It's all my job, but physically can't because I'm double busy than he is. And then on my day off, we can enjoy it together because I have to do housework unless he helps me through the week. Just something I think more men could realize before getting into a committed relationship. Sorry, that was long, but I had to give her she sent me a question and added in some of her own thoughts, and I was going to read them here. So she says, men, be aware you should be helping out with house chores. Britt, how do you feel? So, I mean, let's just go back to the main question. Is the woman the person who should automatically do or is delegated the house chores? And what's a better way to delegate them without one or both persons feeling overwhelmed and attacked, Mr. Dillard?
I think the question is being asked incorrectly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not
How would
from you.
word it?
I'm
Okay.
just saying, speaking from the viewpoint of a man, and if Cool Beans was not my background, you would see my house behind me. I don't care what the house looks like. Okay? I'm not worried about the laundry piled up on my dryer right now. I'm not worried about my bed not being made or the dust on my blinds. Until somebody comes over, I'll clean up. I'll tidy up. But, like, in saying that, I'm not going to instinctually clean stuff. Like, I live by myself. I'm a bachelor. I clean whenever it gets dirty. I'll clean. I don't clean as I go. I'm saying all that to say this. Women will look at that as,
Laziness.
I have been designated to clean because he's too lazy to clean. When literally all you would have to say, like you're doing all this worrying about it, like, oh, this is the patriarchy. Like I have to clean because I'm the woman,
Well,
and I
she
work
does
so.
say that they've had a conversation about it and delegated it correctly, like to 50-50. So they have fixed the problem, but she's just saying for others, I believe.
And that's how you handle it. You say, hey, the house is a wreck. Clean the freaking house. Get off your butt and clean the house. I'm not doing it by myself. And then you say, if you don't clean your half, it's not getting cleaned. I'm not doing it for you.
Yeah.
That would solve it instantly. Like you're not a victim.
Or
Just talk to your spouse.
Or it doesn't fix instantly because they don't do it. Then what's the answer?
Then you married a jerk.
Okay, here's my take.
And there are consequences.
Here's my take. I'm not gonna lie. If the woman doesn't have a job, that is 100% your job. It is your job. Do it. Also, if like the woman is only working part-time, you should be doing all that. Like I shouldn't have to be working 50 hours a week coming home and doing it. But that was not her question. Her question was, in this particular circumstance, what's the answer? And it's simple. Yeah, I mean, they should help you out, especially if you work more. Like if you're the breadwinner in the group, you kind of get to call that shot. If you're the breadwinner and you're working more, like they usually go hand in hand, you're getting to call that shot. So if you're the woman and you're working 65 hours a week and the husband's working 30, yeah, he should be taking care of most of the housework, most of it. He just should. He just should be. I don't care what anybody says. People can be like, no, that's not his job. Don't care. He should be handling like 90% of it. She should not be coming home, making all the money, and then cooking, cleaning, picking up, doing the laundry. That's ridiculous. No one party should carry 90% of the weight. No way. So, yeah, that would be my take.
I do think though that men are supposed to take out the trash.
Yeah. No,
I think women are supposed to do laundry because I think men suck at laundry.
Men do suck at laundry. I suck at laundry, 100%.
And that's not me saying, hey, you're the woman, clean my clothes. It's like, if I wash this shirt one time, it's over. I have to get a new, it's ruined.
Yeah. I have some more questions if you would like me to get into some. I had several.
I have one.
Okay, you have one? Okay, is yours good? Is yours improved from last week? Are they improved?
I think so.
Is it an improved question? Okay, you're up. So. Let's go, Mr. Diller. Come on.
So, my question is this: say that you're married to a woman for several years. You marry the love of your life.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
And something terrible happens, and she passes away.
Like a cargo ship hitting a bridge that she was on.
Or she just like got sick and died, or anything.
Okay. I was just checking.
Okay, so, and this is another. We can talk about getting remarried, because that's another thing that interests me. But
okay, I don't understand the question.
Say you get remarried.
Okay.
Who are you buried with when you die? Your first wife or the most recent one?
Your first wife. Gosh, that's terrible. That's
you think
terrible,
so?
Though. But I feel like if it was me, my first wife, I just would. I don't know. I feel like that first wife, you just loved her to death, and the only reason you ever looked or touched another woman was because that woman passed away. You got to be married with her.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be married. You got to be buried with that woman. It doesn't matter, though. Like, I mean, honestly, turn me into ash when I pass. Spread the ashes. Make it fast. Okay? Like, it's not that important. Okay, Britt, good answer. Really good conversation here with Britt as he's looking at his phone.
Was that not a good question?
That was a good question.
But
honestly though, like, and I've never thought about who I was going to be buried with or where I was going to be buried at. I mean, I know I'm only 23, so maybe a lot of people our age haven't thought of that, but yeah, I would never think of that.
Yeah, and like me and Grace asked this question, like hypothetically, like what would happen. And I was like, I don't know the answer, and I told her, I was like, I don't think I would get remarried. I don't think I would. Now, obviously, it depends on like when did this happen. Like if it happens when you're like 20 years old, like I don't expect anybody to go the whole rest of their life without love. But like I just told her, I said, personally, you're the only woman that has ever showed any interest in me, so I probably won't get remarried.
The only
And
reason that Britt likes Grace is because she is the only woman that has ever showed him any affection, and you heard it here first on
Yeah.
Red Line.
and then she was like, well, no, I would want you to get remarried. She was like, what if I sent you somebody? And I was like, you can't do that.
Well, all of a
It's like-
sudden Grace thought she was the Holy Spirit.
I was like, you can't
That's
do that.
crazy.
But okay.
That's wild. But I will say this about getting remarried. I don't know. I will say this about men. As long as men have a sex drive, I would say there's a good chance you want to get remarried. I will add that in there. It's just, you can say whatever you want about, you shouldn't say that. It's just the facts of life here. Yeah, Britt, anything else on that question?
Would you get remarried? What do you feel about that?
I just want to know, like, how old I am. Can you give me age? Can you just give me a random age?
35.
Yep, I'm getting remarried.
Okay.
Yep, 100%. No way. Okay, if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna live to 80, it's a long time to be by yourself. Especially because, like, at 35, you got to think. At 35, all your friends are married with families. You're not hanging out with them. Your sisters, your brothers, your siblings, they're living their own life. There's no one to hang out with. You would have nothing to do. What, are you gonna be a loser and play video games at 35 for 40 hours a week? You loser. No. It's pitiful. Anyways, here I have a question. I've got two more. Let's see. Where did it go? Oh, what are your thoughts on maintaining family traditions and rituals within our relationship? I didn't really I followed up question with what we meant by rituals, because I was like, wait, are we doing some like witchcraft up in the kitchen at night? No, that's not what they were talking about. Basically just things like one family, and we may have touched on this last week and maybe they just didn't listen, but one family sits at the dinner table, like the guy's family sits at the dinner table every night, and like they eat as a family, and like the girl's family, they don't. They just go pick up some McDonald's, bring it back, everybody gets it, goes back to their room. So, like, is that a deal breaker? Is that a deal breaker, kind of? And then other things, what was another thing they talked about? Oh, was like just like doing stuff as the family, like game night and stuff like that. Like was different from family to family. And I've never really thought about that. Like that's something I never really thought of until I got the question sent to me actually yesterday. So I don't know. I don't know what my take is. I still haven't thought about the question. Britt, what do you think?
Family stuff's cool. Obviously, if you like your significant other's family, it's cool.
Yeah. They also did say that, like, what about their family traditions on like Christmas and holidays, like Thanksgiving? Like, how do you handle that? Like, if you've both always had Nana's Christmas on the Saturday before Christmas, then how do you handle that? And they're both at 5 p.m. Like, how are you handling that?
That is one of the worst parts of, not the worst parts of getting married, but that is frustrating. Because, like, growing up, I mean, I look at just my family specifically, like, my two sisters are about to both be married. My cousins are all married, and, like, so they've got whole other families that they go do stuff with. And that really, I mean, the scheduling of holidays becomes such a nightmare.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you get into, like, I'm going to my grandma's Thanksgiving and I'm like, I've just got to eat like barely any because I'm going to another one right after this.
Yeah.
And like that sucks.
Yeah.
Or like I'm just gonna stop by and say hi. I can't stay because I've got to go to Mount Juliet for this other Christmas. Not that I don't want to go there, but like it just stinks.
Yeah. I've always said I think the best way so no one feels left out is like alternating years. Like I just feel like that is smart, because that way you're not just stopping in every year at my good friend Britt Dillard's house, and I'm like, hey, it was good to see y'all, but I can't stay here. I'm leaving. I got my girl's Christmas. And I don't think that's a great idea. Like alternating years or something like that, I think is probably the best. Or like if you're like, hey, let's go to your grandma's on Saturday, and then we're gonna go to my parents' house on Christmas Eve, and so like you'll miss one of your Christmases, but you're not missing the other one. Like I think there's always, because most people would go to more than one Christmas. Like I do. I guarantee you do. Like just with your family, and then add Grace's in there. So like maybe it's you miss one of the families, but you get the other one. Something like that. I don't know. I feel like that's a tough question.
Rituals are cool though, especially like the family I'm marrying into. There's so many weird, quirky little just things that they do that crack me up. It's cool.
Making fun of them.
No, I love it. It's cool. Got any more of those love questions?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Oh, here's a question. How? Oh, wait. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Wait, no, where did it go? Okay, I lost it. I literally had it in my notes, and I have no idea what note it's on. I'm so sorry. Here it is. What are your thoughts on privacy within our relationship, including personal devices and social media? And let me tell you this right now. When I can't believe this question was asked to me, because I almost responded, "You're an idiot." I didn't, because I'm nice. But they listen to this, you know who you are. I'm sorry. You're an idiot. There is no, like, one of the other questions that I got sent was like, how do we deal with our personal boundaries? Brother, sister, you are married to this human. There is no just you. It is just it's just y'all now. It's you together. It's us. There's no just you. There's no like, well, I don't want him getting on my phone. Why? What do you have on your phone that he shouldn't be seeing? I don't want him looking at my Instagram. Why? Are you being a skank? What you posting? Why don't you want him saying it? You should be proud that your husband wants to see these things about you. A pretty picture of you.
Yeah. And I see stuff. We'll go back to that. Put a pin in social media.
I got mad.
But like it's kind of I don't know what you call it, but in a perfect world, I don't care. I don't feel any need to look at her phone. And she also doesn't care to show me.
Yeah. Like I'm not.
Because like if you don't want her to see your phone, there's a reason. And like I've had legitimate reasons for like I've got a text message with an engagement ring and I know this lady is snooping. Like I know she's snooping. So like you cannot look at my phone.
Yeah.
If you don't want her to see the phone, you are hiding something. Whether that's a big thing or a small thing.
Yeah.
Something is being hidden.
Agreed. Like, for example, here's a red flag. If you over with your girl or your boy and they over here and you're like laying to the left of them or to the right of them and they got their phone like this turned away from you, no, red flag. Red flag. I don't know what's going on. Look, I don't care who I'm around. My phone gonna be out like this. If you're behind me or beside me, you can see it. I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm cool with it.
Here's a life hack. Take their phone, see how bad they try to get it back.
Facts.
See how bad they start freaking out when you got their phone. See what happens. But let's talk about social media. Because like there are some people, and maybe this is judgmental, but it's not on purpose if it is. So I'm sorry. But like I'll see some girls post something that are married and I'm like, is your husband like just cool with this?
Yes. Like you as a husband.
And I'm not talking about anybody specific at this moment. I don't know. But that just came to my mind that I know it's happened before.
Listen, I'm going to say this right now, and I hope nobody gets offended by this. Somebody will get offended by this. And I'm usually the one telling Mr. Dillard to stay in line here. But tonight I'm getting active. Okay? I'm going to say this. If you're a married woman and you're out here posting some thought stuff on Insta or Facebook and you got You got your stuff hanging out as a married woman. You do not respect your husband. You do not respect your husband. And listen, if you're mad because you're posting some thought stuff on your Insta, I'm sorry you don't respect your husband. And I don't even know if he knows it, if he doesn't. You don't respect him. And we can argue about it anytime. But shut up.
Okay.
Like, I'm pissed. Not you, Britt. Not you, shut up. The women who
I agree with you. I completely agree with that.
It's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand why we're posting that.
Just the thought of social media is just so stupid.
It really is.
Like, you think I care, man? You think I care that you're on a bachelorette trip? You think I care that you went to the Preds game?
I mean, yeah. Like, okay, here's my thing. Do you think I care that you went to a Preds game? You went to a Titans game in some boots and some booty shorts and a tank top. You don't even know what football is. You can't even spell football, and you're out here posting just so you can post something thoughty. It's ridiculous. I just don't get it. Listen, if you're one of these women, if you're angry right now hearing this beautiful voice talk on this podcast, I'm sorry. You're mad. Stay mad. That's all I can tell you. I don't want you to be mad at me as a human because I love you.
Hit dog hollers. That's what I've always said.
Dog hollers. I like that. Hit dog hollers.
If you're offended, I mean.
A hit dog hollers. Dang,
yeah.
That's good right there. I feel country saying that. A hit dog hollers, baby. Say that. But no.
It's a jungle, men.
It is.
Get
like
that stuff out of your mind, man.
Wonder how I keep from going under. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something else. Last one. I do have one more. I almost forgot about it. My spouse loves to give gifts. However, that is not how I prefer to receive love. How should I go about handling this? Because I don't want to hurt his feelings. So basically, homie gal is saying her love language is not gift giving or gift receiving, I guess. That's not really, like, she appreciates that, but that ain't the way to really get through to her. Maybe she doesn't specify, but maybe it's quality time. Maybe it's physical touch. Maybe it's acts of service, just to name all of them. It could be any of them, right? But she's like, hey, I'm just not really getting it through with gifts. So I don't think here that she's saying that she's ungrateful for the gifts, but she's just saying that she would prefer maybe that he spends quality time with her and maybe spends a couple hours with her, reading a book instead of buying her a gift. What do you think, Britt? What's the best way to handle this? But hey, we need an answer. She said, how's the best way to handle this conversation? So she wants to talk to him about it. How should she do it, Britt?
Okay, the best way to handle this, don't submit it to the love corner. Just go talk to your husband. And
we will not have a podcast if people don't submit these questions. So we need them to do that.
Here's the thing. He's going to be offended. He is going to be offended, like, if he's bought you all this stuff and you're like, this isn't really how or maybe he won't be, but I think maybe he will be. But I don't know. I mean, it is for certain things over others. Did my audio just go out?
Yeah, it did, but you're good now.
I mean, I do prefer, like, I don't care about gifts either. Like, I would rather spend time or go do something cool. Or like acts of whatever. I think some of those are kind of bullcrap. It's kind of, well, not bullcrap. I just think it's kind of soft. Like, oh, this isn't how I receive love. The way that you're showing me love is, I can't relate to this. I'm like, if they're showing you love, if that may be the only way he knows how to show love.
Yeah.
And if you love him and he's showing you love the only way he knows how, maybe you should just keep your mouth shut. I don't know. I don't know you.
So. I think that's bad advice, actually. I would rarely
say
that.
You can say that.
But the only reason I think that's bad advice is because you can't help the way they're like, okay, like there's in my life, there's nothing that means more than me if you just like come up and just like give me a hug, just tell me you appreciate me, Obviously not a man, but if a woman is rubbing up on my back, just ask me about my day. That's awesome. Just give me some physical touch. Just touch me that you care about me. All right, that's it. That's all we need. That's what we need right there. It don't got to be nothing crazy. It's just got to be small gestures, grabbing your shoulder as she talks to you, grabbing your hand, holding your hand, rubbing your back, whatever, right? So like, there's other ways that like I appreciate, but that's number one. So you have to respect. You have to know. If you are in a relationship right now and you do not know what your partner's number one love language is, you are not doing it right. I will tell you that. You need to go read the book, The 5 Love Languages. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. It's a great book. I wrote a book report on it. Anyways, not the point. Point is that you need to know, but like Britt said, that is a good point. Sometimes people have just never shown love in that way, or they've never received love in that way. And so you do have to show them like, hey, this is what I like. I appreciate this, but the real way to win me over is to plan a day with me where we just hang out all day, where it's just me and you, and we're just sitting here talking. You know, like if that's the best way, just talk to them. And so I kind of agree with Britt. You do need, maybe that's what you need to hear. You need to hear mine and Britt's advice to just say, hey, go ask them, go talk to them, because I think it will work. And but don't tell them just to grow up and that they're being soft.
So like if he's spending if he's getting you all these gifts and stuff, the thing that you don't want to do, if you're going to approach him, do not say, this isn't how I receive love, or like, this isn't my love language. No, be like, you need to be like, this is you're so thoughtful. Thank you so much for this gift. She was like, but next time, save your money and let's do something together. That's something
great.
Like that.
That's great from Britt Dillard. Britt Dillard
do something like that. Okay. And then, but because you don't want to, that may be the only way he knows how to show love. Like mine is physical touch. Like if I love you, I'm going to touch you. Like when I'm in my bed at night, I kind of slide my toe over and just touch Rizzo. I'll just touch Rizzo on her back with my toe or something. Okay. Or I'll just, if I just have a point of contact with somebody, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And like, if you kind of take that away from him, then because you do get something out of loving the way that you like to love people. Like he gets something out of giving you gifts. Like that's what he loves that.
Yeah. And I get it. I get it on both sides. I don't think it's bad either way. Like I don't think, even if, because I think it's natural for when you go to him for him to be like, that hurt my feelings. And I think that's okay because it probably will. But like, it doesn't mean that you can't move forward with it. I feel like Britt just gave some great advice. I thought it was bad. Advice was really bad, and then it was really, really good. So Britt redeemed himself big time.
Well, yeah. If you're this lady, you don't want to stop getting gifts. So definitely don't say you don't like the gifts.
No.
Because then you can keep getting some gifts.
Yeah. You can just keep getting the gifts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's solid.
Well, I'm out of Love Corner questions. I did get a submission today, but it's going to be for next week. So saving it, put it in the vault.
Maybe we should, we have an email, but I don't know if I have access to it. Maybe we should open up the email, and maybe next time we'll provide the email if anybody has questions to send in.
Yeah, that's great, because then it's anonymous, and like people aren't just texting me, so they don't have to trust me. You could make up an email and email us.
Yeah, we'll do that. But that's everything I have. Tennessee plays Saturday night at like 9 p.m. Central. So everybody lock in, get balled up.
Brent will probably be asleep by halftime. He goes to sleep pretty early on work nights and church nights.
Yeah. You don't want to play Rick Barnes on Good Friday and Easter Sunday.
That's true.
You do not want to play Rick Barnes on those days.
That's true.
But go Vols.
Anchor down, baby. Thank you, Mark Byington, to come save us.
Hey, goodbye.